We might just have painted ourselves into a corner. Decided to hook up the clutch linkage. Just another one of those things that I have to do to finish things up. And we have this chain that operates the clutch lever hooked to the pedal. And my original intention was to put a bolt through there and sort of a lock nut on the other side and a bolt with a shank so it could rotate freely in there, but that's not going to happen because it's not enough room between the pedals to make that happen essentially. So I've gone and gotten, can't see that with that light, a split pin, basically a little hitch pin, and we'll see if I can put the pin in with the head from the outside and then the cutter pin to the inside. It's going to be interesting. Kabonk. And this ain't the easiest thing to do from where I am because I've got to pull the clutch lever to the rear and hold the chain in place and then try to fit the pin in. Kind of like trying to shoot pool with a rope. We'll see if we can get our hands to work. Pin doesn't want to go in, of course. Yeah, it goes in there. Make sure it goes in there. Yeah, it goes in there. It's snug. Try again. Well, got the pin in the chain, but not in the block. I think we'll try to do this off camera. Okay, after some fitting and finagling and taking the spring off the clutch arm, that certainly helped. We got a pin in there, and we had to put a couple of washers under the head to get the distance just right. And we've got a cotter pin in there, and I believe that that pin will just clear the brake pedal so we won't have any interference there, and should be good. We'll find out. We've got a little job here that been laying around here for a while, and this is the running board for the other side, the driver's side, I guess it is. And we had a couple of holes to weld up, so we got that done. We've got to do a little smear of bodywork right in here, a little Bondo, just to finish off where we welded all those holes up, and then we'll get some green paint on it and put our aluminum strips on there, and Bob's your uncle. One of the jobs we have to do is wiring. And I was wandering around the local gypsy tool store and ran across this little gem. This is called a storehouse, wire storehouse, 400 feet. But apparently I haven't had it out of the box yet. It's a little box with all these different kinds of wire in. And around here in the backyard we got boxes and spools of wire all over the place, and I just kind of felt like maybe it was time to have something organized. They don't give you a big variety of colors. You got brown and blue and orange and brown and yellow and orange and white and brown and white. They really don't give you, you know, ideally 12 or 14 you'd have 2 or 3 or 4 different colors of that size, but got to start somewhere. One of the things we've got to play with is this headlight harness, and of course we have those aftermarket headlights, and this is a pigtail, and that pigtail has to go inside that headlight and down through the stanchion and into the tube and down through the fender support and back out again down at the bottom, and then run back to the dash or wherever it goes. So we really need to make up, you know, a harness at least for the 2 headlights, and the easiest way to do that is going to be to feed something down through there and then do those 3 wires, the ground and the high and low beam, together inside a bit of shrink tubing, and then run the whole thing down through there and out where it needs to go. So, and ideally you put a disconnect down at the bottom here someplace. Well, think about that, so that if you wanted to take the headlight off, you could certainly do that. I have to think about that, because even then you still have to pull the wire all the way up through and all of that kind of nonsense. So, I mean, hopefully we don't have to take them apart, but you have to be prepared. When you do something, you might be the next guy that has to work on it, so you have to think things through. So we'll spend a little time here. We've got some found this roll of wire labels in our inventory here. Don't know if they're all still good, but we'll see if we can't come up with a harness and a map and figure out how to differentiate one wire from the next and get something done. The other thing that we got our package of grommets for the bulkhead. This is a package of, I don't know, 5 or 6 grommets that make up most of the set for the bulkhead or the firewall, so we're going to put them in. We've got a little oil line grommet, and we even have a water temp line grommet. I don't know where that goes, because we don't have a water temp gauge. Those were optional on these cars, but those are the things we've got to work on. We've got our clutch linkage hooked up, and at some point here we can go ahead and hang the wing on. We've still got a little Bondo work to do on our other running board, and just trying to get the shop warm enough to get that done. So we're moving along. Yeah, here's a shot of our wire rack out of the box. Kind of a neat looking affair, and I suspect that at some point we can put spools of wire on there, whatever we need. The little hole here, I guess you feed the wire out through the little hole, and everything is kind of wrapped up right now. But kind of a neat looking piece. Makes it look like we might know what we're doing anyway. We'll see how it works out. Well, we found all of our grommets and got them in the holes where they belong, and got the oil pressure line mounted to the foot plate, and the line from the gauge poked through the firewall and hooked up. We've got the tack cable run through there. Did try to hook up the tachometer, but yeah, might be stuck again. We may have to send it out and have it serviced. We're going to have to send the speedo out, so we may send them both at the same time. Those are above my pay grade. We also went ahead and did the body work on the running board, and got a little paint on it. So if we let that sit for a little while, we'll be able to put our aluminum strips on there and get that thing fitted up to the side of the car again and get our other wing coming along.